Hi, I'm Ryan from ratings.com. Today we'll be doing a review of the TCL 6 Series R648 2021 8K QLED. We'll be evaluating it on our standardized test bench to see how it performs and if you should buy it. We bought and tested the 65-inch model, and we expect the other sizes to perform similarly. This TV is a new 8K model with a mini LED backlight in the flagship 6 Series lineup, alongside the 4K Google TV R646 model and the Roku TV R635 model. The TCL R648 has a unique design with a center-mounted stand that's different than other TCLs we've tested. It has a borderless design on three sides with a metal border around the panel, giving it a premium look. The stand sticks out from the TV quite a bit, so you'll need a deep table to place it on if you want to put a soundbar. It raises the bottom of the screen about 3 inches off the table, so most soundbars shouldn't block your view. The inputs are located on the right-hand side, and the 4 HDMI ports allow you to connect a variety of devices. One of the ports also supports eARC, or Enhanced Audio Return Channel, that you can connect to your receiver or soundbar to play sound from your TV through your external speakers and can pass over Dolby Atmos signals. 2 of the ports are HDMI 2.1 ports to connect newer game consoles and graphics cards to take advantage of 4K 120Hz and 8K 60Hz signals. The back of the TV fits the VESA mount standard, so you can wall mount it for a cleaner look, and it has a pretty typical thickness, so it will stick out a bit. The build quality of the TV is good. Again, pretty par for the course. It's made of plastic with metal borders and is solid feeling overall, although the plastic used feels a bit cheap, but has barely any flex in the panels. Now, onto our test results, and we'll start with the contrast. A high contrast ratio results in deep dark scenes, which is good if you want to watch movies in a dark room like a home theater environment. This TV performs well with a VA-type panel, so dark scenes appear deep and detailed. Compared to some of the other 8K TVs we've tested, the TCL R648 has one of the best native contrast ratios, partly due to the fact it doesn't include an optical layer that would improve viewing angles at the expense of raised black levels. Local dimming is a feature to further improve dark scenes for a better movie watching experience, and the TCL has a decent mini LED full array backlight that helps improve the perceived contrast and black levels, although it does tend to crush blacks in dark scenes. On the other hand, if you want to use the TV in a bright room, then a high peak brightness is important to overcome glare. The 8K TCL 6 Series has great brightness performance. This also means it can produce bright highlights in newer high dynamic range or HDR content for a good HDR experience. Also important for a bright room is good reflection handling. You can see that this TV handles reflections well, as the intensity is significantly reduced, so it is a good choice for a room with lots of light. If you've got a wide seating arrangement or like to watch TV with family and friends, then good viewing angles help to ensure no one's left with washed out colors or crushed details. Unfortunately, on this TCL, the image quality drops dramatically when viewed off angle, so the image is really only best from directly in front. A TV's ability to take lower quality signals and improve them through image processing can greatly improve the picture quality if you aren't sending the highest possible resolution and bitrate content. This is referred to generally as upscaling, and the TCL R648 struggles here in some content. With 480p signals, it does a bad job upscaling as if the image were overpixelated. This makes the R648 a bad choice for those of you with extensive DVD collections or for those who enjoy gaming on some legacy consoles. If your DVD player is able to upscale to a higher resolution like 1080p, then this isn't a problem. Otherwise, the TCL R648 does a good job upscaling other resolutions, although 4K isn't displayed natively, as this is an 8K panel, and the 8K resolutions exhibit some dithering. For purists, a 4K set like the R646 is recommended here instead. The 8K panel does have its benefits though, as the pixel density with the upscaling does allow you to sit closer to the screen and have a cinematic viewing experience. An overall uniform screen brightness and color is important when watching sports or playing video games, to avoid the appearance of clouding known as the dirty screen effect. This does vary between units, but we expect the TCL 6 Series R648 we bought to be about typical. Although it scores decently, there are vertical bands that can appear in uniform colors that are very distracting. If your TCL exhibits this behavior, let us know. But it should be noted that if this is a widespread issue, this TV is probably not suitable for sports or video game fans. A uniform dark image free of backlight bleed is important in dark scenes, and the TCL 6 Series 8K 2021 performs well here, as long as local dimming is enabled. Otherwise, you may notice some brighter spots in the dark areas of the screen. A lot of people care that a TV has good colors. In the case of the R648, the TV can display deep saturated greens, reds, and blues. This is great for those who like an image with extra saturation or for watching high dynamic range content on streaming services. Our unit had accurate color reproduction in standard content as well, but this might vary between individual units a bit. Some TVs struggle to display smooth gradients, so when watching a movie with a sunset, some banding can be visible. In the case of this TV though, it isn't an issue with good gradient performance, although there are no settings that can really help improve the performance further. When playing video games, a fast response time is important for the clearest image without distracting blur. The R648 has a great and fast response time overall, but some blur or smearing may be noticeable in some scenes. If you look closely at this moving photo taken on the TV, you might notice some duplication of the logo. This is because the TV flickers, but overall, it shouldn't be a problem for most people as it flickers at a high enough frequency that shouldn't be picked up by the naked eye. If you plan on using the black frame insertion feature for an even clearer image when gaming, do note we encountered an issue during our testing. Above a backlight level of 70, the screen would flash on and off repeatedly. Under 70 when connected to the PC or any setting with any other connected device worked normally, so it may be an issue specific to compatibility with the devices in our setup that we will look into. But if you experience a similar issue, please let us know. A low input lag is also important for a responsive feel when playing video games, and thankfully this TV is great in this regard. It has a 120Hz panel that is capable of achieving a competitively low input lag at all resolutions as long as you're in game mode. Speaking of gaming, this TV supports all of the common signals up to 120Hz, which is great for all gamers, including those connecting a new Xbox Series X or PS5. It does support variable refresh rates as well, which is good for a tear-free gaming experience. Like other TCL TVs, this one uses the Roku TV platform. It's easy to use and is well regarded by most users since it offers a wide range of apps called channels, so you're sure to find the ones you care about. Unfortunately, Roku TV does push ads to users, so you'll likely notice some on the homepage. The sound of this TV is decent and about typical of many TVs. It's a bit surprising since the TCL R648 has a big speaker on the back, but as TVs are getting thinner and thinner, good sound doesn't tend to be much of a focus, so if this is something you care about, then an external soundbar or speakers is the way to go. So this brings us to the main question: should you buy this TV? Well, it is a less expensive 8K TV compared to the Samsung QN800A with better darkroom performance. There isn't a lot of 8K content available at the moment though, and 8K sets tend to be more expensive than some other 4K competing sets that deliver better image quality. 8K can seem enticing for those who want to future-proof, but once 8K content becomes more readily available, it is likely TVs will also be much cheaper and potentially better. So it's hard to recommend the TCL R648 over TVs such as the LG C1 that delivers much better picture quality for less, or the Samsung QN90A for those who don't want to go OLED, or for a less expensive alternative, the other 6 Series TV from TCL this year, the R646 4K QLED. If you absolutely want to go 8K, the R648 delivers the best contrast ratio we've seen from an 8K set. It has a great HDMI 2.1 features for gamers, a high peak brightness, and undercuts the price of the competition.